Hello, I'm King Keith with True Truth Success Hub, mastering effective communication. If that's what you're looking for, then you come to the right place. But first of all, you have to face it. Your ideals aren't the problem. The problem is you're not landing. Poor communication is quietly sabotaging your success. You've lost opportunities, you misread the room, confused colleagues, and watched good intentions go bad, all because your message lacked clarity, empathy, or timing. Well, I'm here to change that for you. But here's the truth: if you can't communicate effectively, you can't lead, you can't teach, you can't inspire, and you won't be able to close the deal. You've played small in boardrooms, you've zoomed out in team meetings, and walked away wondering, did they even understand me? If you're tired of being misunderstood, overlooked, and undervalued, then it's time to call it for what it is, and it's time to master up. Mastering communication isn't nice to have, it's your gateway to influence, impact, and lasting success. Now, I personally know what it's like to have powerful ideals trapped behind unclear words. That's a big problem. You sat in rooms where your voice didn't land, typed emails that missed the mark, given presentations that left people confused or worse, indifferent. You felt frustrating and disconnected. Trust me, I've been there too. You know what I mean? But the message isn't reaching them no matter what you do or how you intend. This isn't just about speaking, it's about making sure people understand your value, your vision, and your point of view. The truth is, most people don't struggle with what to say, they struggle on how to say it. That's exactly where I come in. I've studied the anatomy of influence, the psychology of connection, and the strategies that transform communication from ordinary to unforgettable. I'm here to help you master these tools: verbal, nonverbal, digital, emotional, that unlocks trust, clarity, and action. Because when you communicate with confidence and intention, you don't just get heard, you get results. Now, I want to give you an example, tell you a short story. Before Oprah became the queen of talk, she was a quiet girl. She was the quiet storm. She grew up in Mississippi. Of course, she had a lot of challenges: poverty, abuse, isolation. She was often told to be quiet, to be silent, especially as a young black girl. As she absorbed the message deeply, she switched it on. She learned to communicate effectively. When she finally entered broadcasting, her emotional intensity was seen as weakness. Even one news director even told her that she wasn't fit for television, criticizing how she connected with the guests on a personal level. Is what you want to do. But instead of conforming, Oprah, she walked and lived in her truth. She started listening, not just to others, but she started listening to herself. Her emotional honesty became her superpower. She transformed communication into connection, forging a style that merged vulnerability with persistence. It wasn't a lack of the polish that won over the millions of the people. It wasn't the glitter. It was her in her communication, the way that she communicated effectively. Over time, she mastered tone, timing, empathy, and she learned to make it work. Even her pauses spoke volumes. Her interviews with Maya Angelou, Michael Jackson, and survivors of trauma weren't just segments, they were moments of transformation. Today, she's a media mogul. She's proof that being truly heard begins by daring to speak as who you are. The most powerful communicators don't just tell people what to think, they masterfully guide them by clarifying what not to believe. Negotiation, when skillfully used, becomes a skill that cuts through assumptions, redirects attention, and makes your message unforgettable. Now, I want to give you a few strategies, okay? When using negotiation to the audience assumption or communication or misconceptions. Effective communication isn't just about talking louder, it's not about dumping facts, and it's definitely not about sounding like you're the smartest person in the room. Negotiation creates tension, and tension builds attention. Use this to highlight gaps and offer your solution. Most messages fail not because they're wrong, but because they're confusing, forgettable, or misaligned with the audience that they care about. Now, here are a few tips that I want to teach you guys, okay? Persuasion is about aligning with the listener values. You want them to feel seen and called to grow. You're not the kind of person who settles for being misunderstood. You're building something bigger, and people need to feel it when you speak. We need to stir up them emotions. Now, negotiation sets up the absence. Persuasion offers the solution. No one taught us how to lead conversations that stick. Most of us stumble through the meeting, pitches, and interviews just trying to wing it. I built this system because I believe clarity shouldn't be a gamble, it should be a skill. With that being said, if you're ready, I want to give you one last chance to get this together. Okay? So, if you've ever struggled to pitch your vision, lead with clarity, or to get your story across powerfully, this book will change everything. Mastering effective communication isn't just a book, it's your blueprint to influence, impact, and income. Learn how to speak so decision makers say yes. Turn silent brilliance into unstoppable persistence. Build a brand, a voice that converts on stage, online, and on paper. Ready to unlock the power of persuasion and clarity? Go ahead and get a copy of this book. Go ahead to TrueTruthSuccessHub.com and let the transformation begin, my friend. Thank you.